Numaan, this is your video feedback for the advanced 3D animation submission you made. Okay, so thanks for that. I've had a good look through it, but I'd like to kind of walk and talk you through it myself. So, first of all, before we even start, the format of this is very slightly odd. It's slightly out. We've got this big black bounding box with the smaller version of your final footage inside. So that needs sorting out. I'm guessing that this was exported too small in terms of frame size from 3D Studio Max, and then you've maybe composited against a dark background in Photoshop or After Effects or something. It's a shame really, because I think had you just exported it originally in the right size, the overall image quality would have been better. Because I think even with this image quality, it looks like maybe it's been compressed incorrectly, wrong compression codec or something. So those are final bits of polish to an assignment that make a big difference. Right, so just be careful of those in future.
You'll have a luxury too. I've got a.
Okay, so if you're going to be using text on screen in your motion graphics, then there's several things you need to take care of. One is the colour. I'm not sure that colour really works with the rest of the environment. I think you could have gone just for maybe a pure white. Something like that would have worked. I think the fact that we're kind of looking over the top of it, it's like 3/4 view, maybe loses some of the impact of the text. The other thing is, if you're going to be using 3D text, like extruded text, then it needs to be well lit. Currently this is not, so we've got very black, very dark kind of front face on this. That's something that we need to get rid of. So you need to consider the light source you've got in there. Now I can see that your light source, looking at the shadow from these trees and the shadow from this, is probably central to the island somewhere, and probably not particularly high up, I suppose, but slightly further back on the island. So we've got this slightly weird sort of light source, which is kind of fairly central to the island and giving off shadows and all kind of omnidirections even. So consider that. Maybe several point lighting would have been better. Another light source which illuminates these bits of text would be good. Final thing as regards to text, consider your viewer. I'm looking at this now. If that text's coming up, I'm assuming I'm supposed to be reading it, otherwise you wouldn't be showing it.
A strange relationship.
And it's over before it's gone. It never gets a chance to rest. It comes out of the ocean and just keeps moving. Don't get a chance to read. I mean, I've read it, yes, but my eyes don't get a chance to rest on it. So you don't have to be moving all the time. Animation where it's appropriate.
I love coffee. I started.
Right. Okay. So we've got the whole purpose of this. I love coffee. At this point, you should be down up close on these, which I'm assuming are coffee mugs, on that table. This framing of it just doesn't work. That could be anything on there. It's too far away. It's too sort of nondescript in terms of design. You need to be up close on that by now. Fine. All this stuff here is built up. We're moving in close, but then we go up over the top. Getting close on the thing. There's no need to be this far away. I think you fall into a similar trap that many people have on this module. That is that there's a lot of camera animation and not enough sort of object animation. If you're going to be animating the cameras, then subtle movement, if at all, is good. You don't need the camera to be zipping all over the place and moving all the time. Let it have a rest. It moves in close and stops, and then the action takes place. Or it moves in close, stop, and then cut to a closer shot. Either of those would work quite nicely. Now, when we get to this bit, all sorts of stuff happens with the camera. I do not know what's going on here. This needs a serious overhaul. This whole bit. We never get close enough to actually see what's going on here. We could be down close through the middle of those trees. We're up close on those elements. It's much more obvious what's going on. This camera control here is terrible. You've got to fix that stuff. If that's a problem for you, you can't get that to work, then I would just say, cut your losses with that camera. So that's my final frame of that shot. I'm not going to use that camera anymore. I'm going to put a new camera in and then render another sequence from a different angle or something, because that just doesn't work. The heart coming out, again, it's an interesting thing. It's slightly quirky. It's hidden behind the trees though, so we don't really get to see it. I don't understand the relevance of it pushing the coffee cup off there. It's a quirky thing to do, but I'm not sure why that's going on. But there's some nice animation on the heart. That's okay. This is much better framing. We can actually see what's going on now here. So I would have got to that point much sooner. So consider the staging principle. 12 principles of animation, the staging principle. How you showcase, how you stage your action. And off we go again. Okay, so final bit of feedback then. With this, there are some merits to it. You've got the arms, you've got the water, the trees are in there. To be fair, those are three things that I was explaining how to do, and I did video tutorials for. So that really shouldn't have taken you much more than a couple of hours to get that to work. I don't feel. The rest of it, I think, is lacking a little bit. I don't think you've done anything very interesting with the whole coffee idea. You know, in the audio sequence there, it's quite descriptive about the coffee. You know, loves coffee, was fed coffee as a child, as a baby even. None of that really comes through in the animation. Even the bit where he talks about kind of, you know, having a love for coffee, a great relationship with coffee, it doesn't really tie in with where we see the heart, so the emotional side of things doesn't really tie in. I think you could have pushed this much further. I feel that one of the big reasons why it doesn't get where it could have gone, and it could have been very good, is your lack of attendance. Check the registers, and you've not attended very much at all, 3 or 4 times throughout the whole of the module, as far as I can tell. Well, that's just not good enough. I mean, if you want to achieve well in a module, then you need to be turning up. So, I mean, I'll leave that with you. You continue to turn up, and you'll improve. If you don't, you're not going to get the skills. You're not going to get the tutors' support in this, and you're not going to get feedback on your work. Had we have seen this in development, we would have been telling you about the camera movements. We would have been telling you about, maybe correcting the lighting and so on and so forth. Without your engagement, we can't do those things.